Hi folks, I just wanted to share with you the presentation that I was unable to do at the live weekend event a few weeks ago. Unfortunately, health issues arose that prevented me from doing this and giving my all at the event, and for that I apologize. The good news is I am on the road to recovery, and it was a fairly significant health issue, and looking back, I probably should have taken care of it a lot sooner. Anyhow, I would like to share with you in person, because I've had a few people contact me and ask more about what the 4% Millionaire Mastermind program is all about. So I thought that I would actually go through the presentation, give you a little bit more information about the program. If it's of interest for you or you think it's a fit for you, that's fantastic. If not, not a problem at all. So I call this the missing piece for success. Now, I'm going to apologize up front because this is not my typical presentation. In this particular presentation, I may say some things that are a little bit disturbing to people. It may shake your reality a little bit. It's not intended to slight anybody, so please don't take any of this as a personal attack, because what I am saying, what I'm sharing with you is coming from a place of love and support. I truly want to be able to help you achieve whatever level of success you're looking for and help you break through the barriers that are holding you back. So having said that, let's jump in here and get going with this very short presentation. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard of the Pareto principle. It's called the 80-20 rule. This 80-20 rule applies in a lot of cases in our world. A few examples are here. 20% of the people are making 80% of the money. Then 20% of people have really good relationships with their partners and kids. Or 20% of the students will gain the jobs that pay 80% of the big salaries. And this is a big one actually, that 80% of the money that you generate will be created from 20% of your time and energy that you apply. So that can really help you take a look at all that you do in life. You know, all that, the balance of the 80% of your time, if that's only generating 20% of your income, maybe you want to reevaluate your priorities. Anyhow, that's the 80-20 rule and how it works. But with respect to real estate and the education courses, I see this 80-20 rule on a regular basis, both when I attend events and participate in courses and programs, as well as when I teach or facilitate programs. So let's take a look at 100 students enrolling in a program. It doesn't matter whose program this is. This is not specific to any one person, any one program. So you've got 100 students. Of that 100, 80 students will do way below average. A lot of students will actually do nothing. And this was actually the case when Joanne and I enrolled in the real estate education courses years ago, spending thousands and thousands of dollars. Like we spent over $40,000 just on courses alone. And there was one other couple that spent the exact same amount of money as we did, and a year later they still hadn't bought a single piece of property, and they gave up because they said the program was no good. It didn't work for them. Well, what didn't work for them was them themselves. They weren't prepared to do what needed to be done in order to get the job done. So they were a big part of that 80% of the students who will do below average or actually nothing. The other 20% will do above average. They will do something. Now, it could be, if the goal is to buy 20 or 30 properties, maybe they'll only buy 2 or 3 or 4 properties, and that's okay. So that's the 80% of the 20%. They'll do very well. The remaining 20% will do extremely well. So this is where 4% of the original 100 students falls in. Now, the big question is, where do you actually fit into this scenario? Or where do you want to be 1 year from now? And I guess the bigger question is, why aren't you where you want to be already? Now, I've shared with everybody my success formula in 5 simple steps. So the first one is to have a clear vision of what it is you want. If you don't know what it is you want, how do you know what path or what road to take to get you there? Once you have your vision, knowing and understanding what your true, deep, passionate why is, so that when you hit those roadblocks, those challenges, you won't give up. Then, creating a game plan, a set of goals to help you achieve what it is you want. And in the past, the next one was going to be acquiring the tools, and that's your education and your support team in order to help you. The fifth, and probably the most important step that I've recently discovered, and I'm currently working through even myself. So even with the success I've had, I've been able to achieve a lot of success with those four steps that I've indicated here already. However, I want to be more, do more, and have more. And in order to do that, I need to identify my upper limits and be able to break through them. So what exactly are those upper limits? Well, reason number one why people fail to achieve their goals is what we call old paradigms, false beliefs or fears. It could be your self-worthiness or lack of confidence, and it can go on and on. There's many, many other false beliefs and fears that we all have, and they all affect us to different degrees. These are what we call hidden upper limits. These upper limits are so deeply embedded in our subconscious mind that we may not even be aware that we have them, yet they're operating in the background. And every time we reach a certain level of success, for whatever reason, you start to sabotage yourself and you fail to achieve your goals. You fail to break through. So you want to understand what these hidden upper limits are so that you can learn how to overcome them. Reason number two why people fail to achieve their goals is how we actually learn. So here we have a picture of the cone of learning. And this is quite disturbing, actually. So when you read a book, 10%, you only retain approximately 10% of whatever it was you read after only 2 weeks. When you hear it, so if you listen to audiobooks, that's better than actually reading it, you're going to retain 20%. If you're engaging with pictures and diagrams, then it goes up to 30%. Then you can actually get up into the 50% of retention within the 2 weeks, but you have to be a little bit more engaged with it. You have to actually see it being done, watching demonstrations, watching movies of it, etc., becoming more involved. So the more involved you become, the more you will retain. And then when you get up in above the 50%, you're into the more active learning methods. And that's where you get into the participating in discussions, or you're actually giving talks and teaching it. There's a saying that if you really want to learn something, then teach it. And there's a lot of truth to that, because when I started mentoring, that's when it became second nature for me. All this information that I had, by repeating it over and over again, by teaching it, it became so deeply ingrained in my psyche. Doing presentations, doing simulations, and then of course actually getting out there and doing the real thing. There's nothing like doing the real thing to be able to retain much more of the education. So now, most education models that we work with today, the typical learning method, is to read the books, listen to lectures, and perhaps see some pictures or videos. Yet that's only going to provide us with a 30% retention after 2 weeks. So the odds of our success are going to go down dramatically. So let's add some more learning strategies like watching recorded demonstrations, watching the live demonstrations, or becoming more active in the learning. When you do this, your retention jumps up over the 50% mark. Reason number 3 why people fail to achieve their goals is networking with the right people. So by networking with the right people will help you achieve your goals. Yet most people will network with the people of comfort, the people who are already in their comfort pool. It's sort of like, I'll use the hockey analogy. I loved playing hockey. I loved playing competitive hockey. And when I played house league, I was one of the better players. And yeah, it was a lot more fun being the better player, but if I wanted to be competitive, I had to play with people who were better than me. By playing with those people who were better than me, it made me a better person. It made me a better hockey player. But it was a lot harder. It was more uncomfortable. It was a rougher game. People were meaner. It just wasn't fun. It's the same thing in real estate. If you want to learn and become more successful in the world of real estate, you have to network with the right people. That doesn't mean networking with other people who haven't started investing in real estate yet. You have to get out there and start networking with the people who are already having success in the game of investing in real estate. And yes, it's intimidating. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but that's what needs to happen. So again, here's our 80-20 rule with respect to the students. 80% are below average and 20% above average right off the get-go. And this is pretty much where most of my education, most of my students will sit at this first level. So what I want to do moving forward is I want to focus on this 20%. It doesn't mean that the other 80% are going to be totally forgotten, because they're welcome to join me and the other students in this 20%. But in order to do that, you need to learn to become a little bit uncomfortable. So by focusing my attention on the 20% who are doing stuff, they're actively out there investing in real estate. These are the people who want to grow more. Of that 20%, only 20% are really going to take it to the next level, and that's where the 4% of the original students come in. So for those who want to be part of the 4%, I have created what I believe to be a really good solution. So keep in mind that accelerated success happens when we actively participate in discussions, when we do simulations, when we teach it through presentations, whether it be one-on-one presentations or group presentations, actually getting out there and doing the real deals, plus identifying and breaking through our upper limit barriers. That's a huge one. And networking with the right people. So the 4% Millionaire Mastermind Mentorship. What is it? Well, it is a full one-year mentorship with 10 other like-minded, driven, focused individuals, along with myself and my own personal coach, Mr. Mark Friends. Now, you've met Mark at the live event. Mark, we're very fortunate that Mark was there and he stepped up and helped facilitate the weekend on my behalf. Mark is a fantastic individual with respect to, well, in many levels, but with respect to his personal coaching ability. He is a very gifted young man. He's very, very wise given his age. And to have him as part of the mentorship group for a full year is phenomenal. Now, it's all going to start with 3 days at my own personal house here in the town of Almonte. This is where we're going to dig into each individual, what it is you want to achieve. It doesn't have to be real estate, but that's going to be our primary focus, but it doesn't have to be. It can be whatever. So we're going to dig into what it is you really want to achieve, and then really understand why you want to achieve it, and ultimately get help you achieve it with the help of the entire group. So it's not just Mark and myself mentoring for the full year, 10 individuals. It's going to be Mark and myself and 9 other individuals mentoring you. So it's a very powerful mastermind group. Then on the first 3 days, we'll also have some fun, because all work, no fun is not good. One of the biggest things that I've realized is that at events like the weekend event that you just attended, it's great to have education, but I would suggest more often than not that 80% of the success, 80% of your education is going to come through the networking with other individuals at the event. It's going to come through the team building exercises that may take place, or the social activities that happen. It's about building the relationships. So we're not going to focus just on education. We're going to have some fun as well. with the other like-minded individuals, and we're going to build some very, very strong, supportive relationships because this is the key to your success. Your accommodations when you come to the town of Almonte will be taken care of, as well as the food and the entertainment. You simply need to get here. Now, that's the weekend event. That's all good and fine. And this is where, in the past, I've pretty much stopped. I would do weekend events, and then I wouldn't carry it on for any length of time. And this is what really needs to happen. And a lot of people have been asking me for this for many years. So to keep this momentum growing, we're also going to do the TIR coaching program for 1 full year. Now, this is the program that Mark French teaches through the Proctor Gallagher. That's Bob Proctor. It's a program that he will teach and facilitate the group together. Usually this goes for 6 months, but he's extending this program for an entire year. We'll also have monthly group mastermind calls twice per month. We'll have unlimited email support at any time you've got questions, concerns, need help, whatever. You can email either Mark or myself. You'll also have a 1-hour coaching call with myself and a 1-hour coaching call with Mark French as well. We're also going to provide you with 2 Call Now tickets. And what these are we'll sort of keep them in your back pocket as emergency tickets. Either when you're having a personal crisis and you need the help or the support of Mark, you can call him directly and you'll get some one-on-one coaching. Or if you're in a real estate transaction and you need your hand held to get through the process, then you use the Call Now ticket and say, I'm in a jam, I need some help, Ken. So those are available to you as well. Fun, we always want to have fun because fun reinforces the success that you've enjoyed over the course of the year. So what we do is we're going to have an annual vacation where all the members, there's going to be multiple mastermind groups going on throughout the course of the year. So there'll be one Millionaire Mastermind Mentorship Vacation. This is optional. You do not have to attend it, but I would highly recommend you do. There will be a little bit of work, so if we're there for 5 or 6 days, we'll spend 1 or 2 afternoons doing some masterminding, brainstorming. That way we can justify from a tax perspective the cost of doing the program, because we are actually going to be doing some mastermind mentoring. But again, it's more about the networking, socializing, building those relationships. Now, I'm sure that you're curious to know what the price of this is, but just to put things in perspective for you, I have personally been mentored by some very influential people. I consider being mentored by Tony Robbins through his programs. However, Tony has a 1-year mentorship program similar to what I'm talking about here, where you get together for 3 or 4 times a year, twice with Tony, the other 2 times not necessarily with Tony, and you could end up, and it's only those 4 events, and they could be anywhere from 3 to 4 days long. This mentorship will cost you $120,000 US. Now, keeping in mind you're going to be in a group of 40 or 50 other very influential people as well, and Tony always brings in some very interesting guest speakers to participate in these events as well. So that's on the high end. Now, another mentor that I have is Bob Proctor. I have been mentored by Bob personally and in groups as well. I recently spent 3 days with Bob and 18 other people in Toronto. This was at what he calls the 3% Symposium, and that is a $25,000 US fee. And it's just the 3 days. That's it. You go, you spend 3 days with 18 other people as well as Bob Proctor. And there's a lot of personal growth and development, but it ends after the 3 days. Now, I've also been to another program of Bob Proctor's, and at a cost of $15,000, but there's 80 people involved in that, and that lasts for 5 days. It's still great value, and just gives you an idea of what's out there. And then Bob has a very unique program called the 1% Symposium. So this is geared towards those individuals, the top performers, the ones who really want to make change. It's 6 days in Hawaii, and this costs $50,000 US. So these are definitely on the high end, more on the lower end, and the person that I first experienced this with directly was my good friend and business partner, Mr. Dave DeBow. Years ago, now we're talking 10 years ago, Dave was involved in what he called the Peak Performers with a couple other marketing individuals. And he had a program where you got together 4 times a year for 2 days. And there was homework and challenges and so forth in between those visits. That cost $12,000. It was that was the first time that I ever spent that kind of money on this type of mentorship. And it was fantastic. I didn't get what I was expecting out of it. I got something totally different and what I consider to be much, much better as well. I got a business partner through Mr. Dave DeBow, a very good friend through this as well, who is Dave, but many other friends as well and business partners that I created through the networking at these events. One last one that I'll share with you is what we call the Young Entrepreneurs Organization, YEO. This is a worldwide organization. It's a great mastermind mentoring program, but it's definitely geared to people who are already more successful and who are very, very serious about creating more success. It requires that you have $1 million per year business. It also requires that you have 10 employees, etc. I did look into this when I was about 53 years of age, 52, 53. I didn't really clue into the young part of the Entrepreneurs Organization. It used to end at 40 years age. They upped it though to 50 because a lot of their members were getting older. And I was able to qualify for the program, but then they found out that I was 52 years of age and they couldn't bend the rules to get me into the program, which was fine in hindsight. So that's the value of some of the programs that are out there. So the 3 full days with Ken and Mark has a value of $10,000. The TIR coaching program that Mark provides, which is usually only a 6-month program that's called Thinking into Results, is a $5,000 value. That's what he charges his students right now. The 2 1-hour calls with either Mark or myself, $1,000 value. The 2 Call Now tickets, $2,000. Unlimited email support is $2,000. The vacation with 4% Millionaire Mastermind mentorship groups, there's no value on that. The total value is well over $20,000. Now, your investment for this program or this opportunity, because I don't even consider this to be a program. I consider this to be an opportunity. Your investment is not even $14,997. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with an investment of just $9,997, but we're going to limit this to a maximum of 10 participants. The reason being is that we want to keep the group small so that we can keep it very personal, and we want it to be very supportive and nobody gets forgotten, and this group of 10 will grow together. So again, just very quickly, what does this include? It's 1 full year of mentoring, starting with 3 full days at my own house, the TIR coaching program for 1 full year. It's normally only 6 months. The monthly group mastermind calls, unlimited email support, 1-hour private coaching with myself and with Mark, 2 Call Now tickets for either deals or if there's a personal issue that you want to talk about, plus the optional participation in the 4% Millionaire Mastermind vacations. So, in order to participate in this program, it's just not simply a matter of raising your hand and saying, I'm in. We would like you to apply, and so in order to apply, just simply contact me at kbeaton@arcarealestate.ca. I will send you an application form. Or if you just want more information, just go ahead and contact me at kbeaton@arcarealestate.ca. In the application form, there'll be lots of questions about who you are, why you want to be part of the program, what are your goals. I want to make sure that you're a good fit in the group. I don't want one or two individuals who just take from the group. I want people who understand the law of reciprocity, who they will give without any expectation of return, and they will openly and graciously receive, and as a result, we will all grow together. So, I really appreciate the time you taking to watch this presentation. Again, if you have any interest in this program at all or any feedback, I would like to get some feedback from you as well. If you're interested but you're wondering if we could do this or that or whatever else, please provide me with that feedback. I'd be very open to hearing from you and seeing what we could do. All right, well, take care, and thank you very much again for your time, and I look forward to chatting to you soon.